Hi friends, Renee Keys here with Carolina Creative with another card layout idea for you if you're creating and stamping cards. I am going back to some designer series paper that's in our current catalog. This is called Masterfully Made. It's very bold, as you're about to see. I have a couple samples here to show you. Very colorful, very bold. I've just got a couple of pieces here for show and tell. You can see how this would make a card all by itself. The paper I'm going to work with today out of this set, you can see I've been using it, again, very bold, big designs, and I think it's going to work well with the idea that I'm working with. I'm going to use the designer paper as my focal point, and I'm simply going to start with a square. This is 3.5 by 3.5. You could go a little smaller, depending on what size you want to have for your focal point. In this case, because it is so bold, I decided to go with a larger to show a little bit more of it. I have selected crushed curry for my card base, and I've already got my card insert here ready to go. Now I am going to use a contrasting color and make a border or a frame to go around this. So let me flip the camera and I'll show you as I cut and assemble here what I have in mind. Flip this without hopefully making people motion sick. So I'm going to lay this on top of my Calypso coral. So I'm cutting this to be my frame around the designer paper. Yep, just like that. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to get this out of my way, is go ahead and assemble this part. This is going to be a pretty simple card, but it's not going to be any less stunning than something that you might have hand stamped a lot of images on. It's just going to be very bold and colorful. So I'm going to do this and make the frame. And what I'm going to do next is, as you can see, as I start to assemble this, I'm leaving room because I'm going to stamp a sentiment down here. So let me start from the inside out. I did want to put a little something on the inside. I'm making the message, as you'll see in just a second, a little bit generic. But I wanted to put some flowers on the inside that kind of coordinate with what's on the outside. So I borrowed this from Petal Park, Sentimental Park. Because it's just this light open image of flowers, and I thought it would coordinate nicely with this. So this will go on the inside. You could put just about anything on here. You could punch out little flowers and put them inside. There's just a lot of things that you could do to still keep this a pretty simple card. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to go ahead and stamp before I assemble. So I'm going to stamp in my Calypso coral. You see there's coral and orange and red and pink, all these different colors in here. So I've left myself space. I'm just putting a lots of love message on here. So let me line this up straight. I'm going to eyeball this. There we go. And put that on. What I also have is a little bit of twine that kind of coordinates with these corals and pink colors here. And so I'm going to, there's a couple different ways I could do this. And what I think I want to do, I'm going to show you a really fun little shortcut. I'm going to cut this so that I can adhere just a straight piece onto my, my square here. I'm going to flip it over and keep it roughly in position where I want it to go. So let me put some Stampin' Seal on there so I know where it's going to go. And glue this down so that it'll hold. I might not have this close enough to the edge here. Yeah, it should be. But what I did was I didn't get it straight. I had too much on one side, not enough on the other, and that was why it looked like it wasn't going to reach, but it does reach. So I'm going to pull it taut. I've got it stuck now to the Stampin' Seal. Perfect. And now I'm ready to adhere this right onto the card base. So let me put Stampin' Seal. There we go. That should be enough to hold it. and adhere this onto the card base. There we go. And now I'm just going to tie a little bow right on here. It'll be a little loose. It'll slide around, but that's okay. I'm going to make a loop and go around. And this is a little bit thicker, so my fingers, let's see if I can get it to go. Yep. And now I can slide it, I can position it, I could put a glue dot under it wherever I might want it to be. I think I kind of like it over to the side. It's a little bit jaunty. I like that. So here you go. Very quick card, very colorful. Lots of different messages you could put on here. Inside, 100 different things go in there, and lots of room for somebody to write a sentiment, or I may decide later that I want to go back and add a very specific sentiment on the inside. But right now the message is just lots of love. Very sweet card. I'm going to flip the camera here one more time. Thanks for joining me. Just another crafty idea for you. Stay tuned for more videos.